What's up, y'all? We are super excited to welcome you guys. We are about to be. What's up, Soul?
Hi, I'm
You
finally
ready?
in. Yes, I'm ready.
Tay Vance, you ready? We can't hear you.
Oh my bad. I was on mute. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, go ahead and let everybody know what's about to go down.
Okay, so if y'all don't know what's going on, we about to tell you. So yesterday, we finally launched our seventh community immunity video featuring young elder Tabans and myself. And today we get to sit down with the creatives, the geniuses behind the whole plan and everything, and get to ask them questions, pick their brains, and really see what their process was like, how they came about, the whole organization. And yeah, so I'm excited. You guys excited?
Yes, like I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
my God.
Yesterday, when I actually saw the video like pop up on my phone, I couldn't believe it.
I was like, seeing our avatars, like we saw them when they first was like still being created, but seeing them and like seeing the actual video and everything, like I was just like my inner child was like jumping for joy. I was like, oh my
No,
gosh.
seriously, it did not seem real. My mother said she was about to cry,
Oh my gosh, yes. It was, and then seeing Miss Joni in the little, I was like, hey, we lit.
and it made me kind of tall. But we're not gonna get into that.
I'm dead. Listen, I love Tay Ban's braids. Those braids though, let's get into it.
Yeah, no,
Let's
for
get into
real.
it.
So y'all ready to bring them on?
Yeah, I'm excited. Let's see. Okay. All right, so the chat is popping up for me finally.
Yeah, they say hey from the hip hop public
Yeah.
health team. Hey, Mr. Artie.
Hey. Hello.
Hey, what's happening? How y'all doing?
We good.
Good. How are you guys?
I'm doing good, guys. It's so wonderful to be on with all of you.
Yes, we're excited to have y'all. We're excited to talk to y'all, pick y'all brains, ask y'all some questions.
I see Mr. Artie, you live from your studio.
He got the whole setup right now.
That's where all the work get done.
No, seriously. Like, can we just get into that for a second? Because we never really got a chance to talk about what it was like actually coming down there and actually recording live, like in the flesh.
All right, so tell us. I mean, how did you enjoy yourself?
Tay Bangs, you go first because your verse
I
was the
felt like
hardest.
I
Not
was
gonna lie.
famous.
Oh my gosh, it was fun. I feel like we had so much fun, especially the part with Miss Joni doing her one take, one take. I was like, okay,
Oh
like
yeah,
it's
she
a
was she
lot.
was she was one take hold.
Yes, we was like, okay, she got this in a bag. We thought she was going to do like six, seven
Something
takes.
slight.
Yeah, she listen.
Nah, and I'm not really lie. I've been to a lot of different engineers and producers, but just the way that you helped us through it and you were so patient and just like if we messed up, you didn't just say, oh do it again. You would say, here's how you could change it. Like that was probably my favorite part.
Nah, I appreciate that. I appreciate y'all too. Y'all did a great job. Y'all did, and Soul, I ain't forget about you. I know I gotta send you a track.
Listen,
I ain't
listen.
forget
I was
about
like,
you. I
I
got
talked to
you.
Miss
I got
Joni. I was like, should I email him again or should I just? She was like, no, no, just wait till he reach back. I was like, I don't think he forgot about me. I don't think
you.
he
Nah, I
forgot.
didn't. I didn't forget about you. I promise. I promise.
It's all good. So let's just really jump into it. Did you want to kick us off, Elder, with
Sure.
anything? Yeah.
So before we get started, just in case anybody doesn't know you guys, can Dr. O and Mr. Artie, can you guys just quick give a brief intro of who you are and how you got introduced to hip hop public health?
Sure. So it's amazing to be on with you guys. You know, your work. I can't wait for you to show the work that you did because it was incredible. It really was. So I'm the founder of Hip Hop Public Health. I should say I'm the co-founder of Hip Hop Public Health because you all met Dougie Fresh. We were on together with you, with all of you. I think it was last year. So I started this organization with Dougie back in 2005, and the goal of what we were trying to do is being manifested today with this campaign, which is to energize young people like you guys, and use your talent, use your skill, your brilliance, your intelligence, and your ability to relate with your own peers and really influence your communities. You know, there's a lot of untapped potential in young people, and we don't really take advantage of the talent that we have with our young people. So that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to really leverage the excitement, the energy of young people, get them engaged in public health, because it's really, really important. You know, we are the first generation, young elder, that might actually outlive our children.
Mm.
Now that's deep, right? For the first time, with all the diseases, the obesity, the diabetes, for the first time in history, we may well be the first generation to outlive their children. So it's really, really important not only to energize parents and caregivers, but also to energize young people and kids, so that we can partner with young people and kids to really help push back all of these public health challenges that are plaguing the community. And COVID really kind of opened a wound, you know, that has been festering for decades and decades and decades. And that wound was opened by COVID and exposed all the challenges that we face in our communities. All of a sudden, the whole world started to see it in a new way. And that's why Hip Hop Public Health felt that our work was needed to be accelerated, and we needed to really turbocharge the work that we do with young people. As for Artie Green, now Artie Green is the music producer maestro extraordinaire. You know, Artie and I, let me tell you a little story. I haven't told a lot of people this story. Artie, should I tell him how we met, Artie? Should I let him know?
You
Should I
can
let
tell
him
him.
know how we met,
You
Artie?
can tell him. You can tell him.
Okay. So fill in the gaps, Artie. So I was so Dougie and I had started doing our thing. I can't even remember the year, Artie. So I went into Dougie's studio,
2007. 2007.
2007. Okay, so I went into Dougie's studio. Dougie has a studio of entertaining music on 135th Street, just off Adam Clayton. So I went into Dougie's studio, and I was sitting in the kind of like the lobby area of his studio, and all of a sudden I started hearing this track coming from the studio, and I was like, man, this track is fire. This track is fire. So I looked at, and then there was this gentleman sitting next to me, and I'm like, yo, did you hear this track? This track is fire. I didn't even know it was Artie. This is how we were meeting in Dougie's studio. And Artie go, yeah, it's my track. It's my track. And I was like, oh my God, you wrote that track? You remember that, Artie?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Finish the story. Finish the story, Artie.
Yeah. So you know, like Doc said, you know, he had heard a song that I had did, and he actually thought I was Doug's artist. But I was just a person that an artist that was working with Doug at the time. So we was trying to work on something together. And then after that, you know, he contacted me. I guess he got his information through my information through Doug. He contacted me and asked, could I well, let me stop. I gave him a CD.
That's what I'm not. Now you're talking. Now you're
Gave
talking.
him a CD with some of my music on it. I had a song on the CD where I did a song about my mom who had a stroke. He then asked me, can I write a song about stroke, but not make it so personable about my mom, but you know, just make it general abroad. And I said, sure, no problems. So I did the song, and he liked the song. Then he came back and asked me, hey, can you do another song about healthy eating and stuff like that? I said, no problem. Then he came back. He said, can you do another one about exercise? I said, no problem. After that, he said, listen, man, I can't keep paying you for these songs. How about I give you a job?
And that's how it happened. That's exactly how it happened.
And I'm
And
gonna tell you
and
something. This man not only giving me a job helped change my life, but Dr. Williams probably saved my life. And I'm telling you something, man. I owe a lot to that man in this program. That's real.
That's respect. That's real respect, and that really just shows how your network determines your net worth. He heard one song, now look where we are.
Yeah,
And you being willing to step outside of your comfort zone with the music instead of just making music that you make, about how you feel. You're like, well, okay, maybe I'll make a song about exercise, and now you're here. I respect that.
Amazing. I love it. I love it.
Okay, so we can get into these questions now.
Yes, I'm excited.
But before we get into the questions about the hip hop public health, we just want to get a little bit more background around you guys. So, Mr. Artie, what would you say? Who is the most famous person that you feel like you've worked with?
uh, Michelle
Or
Obama.
your favorite?
Michelle Obama.
That's big.
I don't think he get no famous in that. But on the music, I work with Ashanti, Ja Rule, Ron Browse, um, Lloyd, Jill Santana, Kerry Hilson, um, a lot of other artists, a lot of battle rap artists that you may know, from Murder Mook to uh, T Rex to, it's a lot of artists, a lot of artists.
Can y'all believe that? And then he worked with us,
Exactly.
and
Imagine
then he was
going
working
into
with
a,
us.
a
And
studio.
Tiana Taylor. Who else? Tiana Taylor. Definitely. Who else? Who else? Say
Jordan
man. Who you
Sparks.
talking
Jordan
Jordan
Sparks.
Sparks, Amon Shumpert, Dougie Fresh,
about?
DMC.
Imagine
Whoever
running
your
into
favorite
a.
artist is, if they didn't go to Miss Audie, then
We need to have a picture on your wall. Sorry.
no, we do. So when we blow up real big, we be like, see, when they was little grasshoppers.
Definitely.
So, based on your experience, Mr. Artie, and being in the entertainment industry for such a long time, working with so many different, amazing, talented artists, what would what would be something that you feel like you would change or kind of innovate about the industry within itself? Do you feel like there's something you would want to, change or
Um,
maybe reinvent,
I
bring
would,
back?
I would, I would want, I would want the soul to
Hmm.
come back into music. I would want the music of today. I mean, it's nothing wrong with it, right? Because I mean, you have to elevate, right?
Hmm.
But I just feel like music, it's very redundant.
Hmm.
And it's no effort put into it. It's no heart, no passion put into the music these days. It's just, 4 bar loop, 4 bar loop, 4 bar loop. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I'm older than a lot of the kids that are today. What they may like, they like everything microwavable.
Yeah.
I want mine cooked in the oven. So that's what I would change about music. I would want the soul to come back in music.
That's good. I definitely agree from an artist standpoint. I'm a old soul myself. I listen to a lot of old school music. I came up on a lot of old school music. Shout out to my parents for having really good taste in music because um, I agree. I feel like a lot of music nowadays, you hear artists and it's easy to be like, oh, this artist reminds me of this artist, or this artist reminds, or is this person, when really it's a whole different artist, and it's just like everybody's starting to sound the same, and then the people who are different doesn't really get that recognition that I personally feel like they deserve when it comes to being in the industry. So I completely agree with you on that one,
No,
for sure.
that's a fact.
Can I just say something, add something to what
Yes.
Audie said? I'm not an artist, but I just want to chip into that question because, you know, I believe the music has many attributes. You
Mm-hmm.
know, music, as we know, can inspire, can motivate. Music can elevate, can take you from a down mood to a upbeat, happy mood. Music can channel your anger into creativity. Music can be cathartic and help you get out emotions that have been so repressed for so long. Music can help you breathe, right? But one of the things that I believe music has not been really, really talked about around is how music can also save lives.
Mm-hmm.
And not just saving lives from an emotional and psychological standpoint, which it really does, and it does it powerfully. Music can also save life from a physical standpoint. There's a direct health benefit of music, and that is something we don't talk about, and hip hop encapsulates that potential of music's healing power. You know, hip hop has been called the psychiatrist for black youth. Hip hop has been shown to alleviate, to heal mental health. You know, we use hip hop in the hospital with our patients who have dementia and are agitated to calm their souls down. You know, we use music when people can't speak because they've had a stroke. We use music, it's called melodic intonation therapy. We use music to help people learn how to talk again. You know, so music has so much power. And what Hip Hop Public Health is trying to do, we are hip hop and we are public health. You know, people like Artie bring the hip hop, and we have a whole team of people at Hip Hop Public Health to bring the public health side. And so our goal is to show to the world that there is so much power in music to heal, to teach, to uplift, and to fix broken bodies in our society.
That was a powerful statement right there, and
Yeah,
that's
I had,
definitely
I have to
something.
agree.
Yeah, for sure. And that's like it just clicked to me when you said that because I know personally, like when I go to the gym, I put on hip hop because I know it's going to get me going, it's going to get me moving, it's going to motivate me. Just not even due to the lyrics, but just due to the energy of the song. Like if I'm in the gym and I got my headphones on and I'm listening to some hip hop music, I know I'm gonna get through my workout. So I definitely agree that it definitely helps on also a physical level as well. Yeah.
Let me just say one thing. You're gonna love this, Soul. So if you look at our brains, and I'm speaking as a neurologist right now. So this whole conversation is operating through what we call the language centers in our brain. So there's a center for everything in the brain. There's a center for language. There's also a center for music, or there's centers for music. Which one do you think has more real estate in the brain? Music or language?
Music. I feel like we consume music
Music.
more. It's
Music
universal.
occupies, that's what I'm saying. Music occupies more real estate in our brains than language itself. Think about that.
It has no color. Music has
Exactly.
no color. It's art.
Music is a
It brings the
frequency.
world. It brings the world together. Like Dr.
Mhm.
Williams said, like it's somebody that doesn't speak our language, doesn't speak English, but they know every song to a record, right?
That always amazes me when you see people tour and they're going to like Sweden and China and these people don't speak a lick of English but they're reciting every single lyric. I'd be like, wow,
That's
like
right. That's
that
right.
is powerful. That's beautiful.
So how did you guys feel when you were writing those songs? How did you feel when you were putting the whole process together from a writer's perspective?
Tay
Oh,
Bands, you want to answer this?
yeah, I can answer that. So I definitely had to step out of my comfort zone because I didn't like making songs about medicine and COVID, and then it was harder because you got to make sure that it's facts so everyone can actually know that you know what you're talking about. But after once you do your research and then you put it together, then it gotta make sense. Then it got a little easier. Now I can make 20 freestyles about COVID now.
But bands.
That's my favorite part.
That's my favorite part. Like I keep listening to this video, looking at it, saying it in the shower, saying it in the car. I cannot get this song out my head. And I be like, bands.
Yo, look what we did. That's how it's supposed to be.
I'm excited. I think for me, it was, I feel the same as Tay Bands. I feel like even though, I did more of like the background stuff, just like watching the previous videos and things like that. At first, it definitely was intimidating. Like when Miss Joni hit us up to do this again, I was like, okay. She's like, make sure that is, stating facts, because when we worked with you guys before, we had like an outline pretty much, so we kind of already knew what we were going off. But COVID is so much information, and we still wanted to make sure that we were getting it across, that people were receiving the actual information and not just like, what are these kids talking about? Like, we don't want to hear that. So just like, okay, so how are we going to like outline it? How are we going to say it in a way that our peers can like understand and digest it? And I was just like, in the back of my mind, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this, because I don't know how they make 6 videos like this. Like, this is a lot. Like, oh my gosh. But I think, doing the research, doing the consistent Zoom meetings, talking with everybody from the organization and them helping us and kind of bridging that gap between like information and youth definitely helped us, to be able to create what we have today, which is our 7 community video.
I mean, you
Yes.
guys did a great job. Trust me, it was
Thank
beautiful
you.
working with y'all. I mean, I look forward to working with you guys again. You guys are very important to this project because a lot of times, Dr. Williams can say something to the masses, especially to the youth. I could say something to the youth, but when you guys who are young say something to your peers, it can kind of come across better coming from you guys than it coming from us, because you guys can relate to each other more so than we can, so trust me when I say, having you guys a part of this is amazing, and you did a great job again, I must say.
Thank you. Thank you.
I might have to give you guys honorary doctoral degrees now.
Uh oh.
Can I get one too?
That would be
No, no, no.
nice.
You got a PhD already, Artie.
That would be so nice. Listen, that'd be nice to have on my wall.
So tell me, how did you guys feel when you the first time you saw that video? How did you feel when you saw yourselves in that video?
See, I gotta go first because I saw mine after they saw it, because they saw it before I got to see it because I wasn't able to get the meeting before the press release. So when I was at work when Miss Joni sent it to my phone, and I was just I couldn't believe it. I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm really in a cartoon. Like we really moving around in the dirt bikes. I was blown away. I was blown away. And then when it was live, I was extra blown away.
Yeah. Shout out to Milo the cat from Hip Hop Public Health, and
Yes,
Adam and his team for putting it all together. It was
Great
a
job.
team effort. Shout out to Miss Joni, the Queen. Shout out to Lori and Lindsay. My God,
Yeah.
Patrice, the whole team. It was a real team effort. And when we saw it, we were blown away. We work with so many artists, as you guys know, right? But honestly, this one was a really special one for us because you are the first group of young people that we've actually put in a record, and so you're the first of many to come. So you are the pioneers of hip hop public health. I was saying to one of my friends the other day. I said, we don't need these famous artists. We're going to turn you guys into famous artists so that you do the work. You do the work with the peers, in such an organic way. So we're so thrilled and excited by the work that you've done, and hopefully we can take this to the next level.
I
That's right.
definitely.
It's about we. It's about we. That's my slogan. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's all about us. It's all about we.
Yeah, and
I
shout out to
love
John.
that.
Shout out to John Gomez. He's our social media extraordinaire. He worked with Patrice to put a lot of these things together. It's been such an incredible team effort, and and look, I'm really excited for our partners at Hopkins, with Joni's organization, and really making sure that we take what you guys have produced and we actually use it to save lives, because that's why we're all doing what we're doing.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And for me, I was sending my video. I was sending not my video. I was sending the video to everybody I know. I was like, I'm a cartoon. I'm a cartoon. Do you see
Cartoon.
me? You see my chain? You see my soul chain? I had a little doggy. I was like, Mama, I'm a cartoon. Like, I don't have any words. Like, I'm just speechless because I knew it was going to be great. We talked about it all the time, like just the anticipation of everything. But just seeing everything come together, it really gave me like flashbacks to when we were in the studio on the train talking to Miss Patrice, to us first working together for the gala, doing the Dougie Fresh introduction. It was like a full circle moment for me because I was like, we never thought that doing that video for the gala that we would be here creating a community immunity video. Like when I had got the text from Miss Joni, and she was like, they want to work with you guys again. They really love you guys and they love what you did. Like they want to work with you guys again. And I was like, okay, like okay. And then she gave us the task, and I was like, okay, can I really do this? But I was like, let me not even get in my head because I got chosen. We worked together before. It was amazing. And then, building that like personal connection with you guys as well. And it not just feeling like a work environment, but like a new family as well. So I'm just grateful to be a part of the experience. Like I'm in love. Like
And,
I'm
and,
gonna
sh-
go back and watch that video some more and tell everybody. Like,
and shout out to the CDC Foundation, right? I mean, it takes a lot of a lot of creativity to even put out these types of opportunities for these types of initiatives. So we got to shout out to the CDC Foundation for making it possible, because none of us would really be sitting around here today without them. But look, I'm excited. I'm sure people are really excited about the video. So I'm gonna let you drive, young elder Tay Bands and Soul. I'm gonna let you drive. I'm gonna step back for a minute and let you talk us through how it all went down.
alrighty. Tay Bands, did you wanna kind of kick everything off for us? Because we
Yeah.
have
So
some
wait, go
um,
ahead. Go ahead.
we have a lot of like a lot more questions we want to get into. So
Yeah, I'm ready to talk about community immunity as a whole. So I do have a question for you, Dr. Williams. At what point of the pandemic did you know it was critical to incorporate a new level of messaging for the vaccine, such as the song that we created?
That's a great question, Tay Bands. It's really interesting because I remember. So the first wave of the pandemic hit New York City in March of 2020, and I remember it just exploded out of. It was crazy because one minute the hospital was quiet, and the next minute it was crazy, and the whole city it was like the whole city was burning. And I spent a lot of time working in the hospital. We were all drafted to the front line to really help and try to do what we could, but we didn't really know what was going on. All we knew was that we were dealing with a coronavirus, and at that time we didn't even know it was airborne. We didn't even have enough tests for it, and so I remember calling Audie, just based on my experience with the flu and other coronaviruses. I called Audie and I said, Audie, we need to do a song on hand washing, because right now what the conventional wisdom was that this was being transmitted through contact and not through airborne spread. And so we wanted to do a hand washing. So that was really the first song. So I called Audie Green. I said, Audie, let's put this together. Audie, was incredible as usual. He called Doug, and it was really incredible. But then fast forward, we got through the 20 seconds or more hand washing song, which we felt was really important. Then we learned that it was airborne, and we pivoted immediately to do the Behind the Mask song with Raheem Devon and DMC. And then we knew that the vaccine was coming. Even as soon as the pandemic hit, we knew there was a vaccine coming. and the vaccine dropped, I think, in December of that year, and but we knew it was coming. So I remember having conversations with Lori Benson, our CEO, and I said, look, we really need to be ready with resources for the vaccine, because when the vaccine hits, we're going to have large sectors of the population, and we know who we're talking about. It's going to be communities of color who are not going to either trust the vaccine, who are not going to be comfortable with the vaccine, or won't have access to the vaccine. So we saw that coming. And that's why we were able to put community immunity together really within a couple of months of the vaccine coming out. We were one of the first groups in the world to have a vaccine literacy any anthology for the public. And so we rolled that out really quickly, I believe in February of 21. Because we were always anticipating the challenges that our communities are going to face. You know, when you work in Black and brown communities, you know that you're going to be left behind unless you have, people fighting to keep us from being left behind. They say that when America catches the flu, or Black America catches severe pneumonia. And so we knew that when COVID hit, that there were going to be people left behind, especially people in our communities. And that's why Hip Hop Public Health is always looking forward. We're always trying to anticipate where the deficiencies are going to be and how we can marshal our resources to help solve these problems. And so that's really how it went down.
Wow. I like the fact that you guys were like on top of it because of the pattern and the history of, you know, the history of what it's like with the relationship of the Black and brown communities with, the health industry and the health field. So
Yeah.
you guys, took action and made sure that you did it in a way that was relatable to our community, which I appreciate because I feel like a lot of times when people try to reach out to us, it's in a way that we can't relate to. And because of the history of the relationship, like I've talked to many people about why they felt like they weren't comfortable getting the vaccine, and they always say, oh, it's because of what happened previously, of us being overlooked, or, we don't get the same resources or the same attention that other communities get. So the fact that you guys kind of took the time to be like, what is a way we can reach our people and make them feel comfortable and heard and seen? Um, and doing that through music, like we talked about earlier, which is so universal.
Yeah.
So, and
I'm
we,
curious, Soul.
yeah.
How and young elder Tabons. I'm curious about your transitions. You know, in terms of that being vaccinated, would you guys mind sharing how you evolved, how you changed, and what made you more comfortable about getting vaccinated?
Yeah, so I was scared at first to get vaccinated because like all the rumors and social media, but I had to get vaccinated though because I had went to school and it was required, so that's why I really got the vaccination. But then when I like had like information from y'all, like that made me more like reassured about the vaccine.
I think I would say school kind of played a part in it because I had an environmental science class, and it just kind of made everything make sense, like understanding the history. Like, this is not the first virus that's ever been out. Of course, there's been many other viruses, and we've always found ways to help with that. And when you think about thriving countries get vaccinations, but other countries don't even have access to these resources, and they're not even able to, save their people. So in a way, we're actually really benefit. Like, we should be grateful that we even get a chance to get this vaccine and help us recover in a way. So I think I would say
Yeah,
that.
for sure. I think for me, it all started. I was a part of Voices on Vax, and being a part of that, um, people were coming up to me asking me information. But I'm gonna be very honest. at the beginning, I really didn't know a lot. So I had people in my community, my friends, my family members. I'm like, I'm part of Voices on Vax. We're talking about the vaccine, the importance of it. But at the time, I wasn't even vaccinated yet myself. I was still kind of contemplating. And around that time, like dissecting through like social media, like what was real, what information was real, what information was fake. So when I realized my responsibility of like people coming to me in my community and looking to me for advice, and I don't even know really what I'm talking about, it kind of forced me to really go and do my own research. And so when I started doing my own research and really started to talk to people who were vaccinated and watch different videos and stuff, and talk to people who I was close to that was also vaccinated, I was like, okay, I think this is something that I'm interested in. Cause like, how can I be an advocate for it if I'm not, vaccinated? You get what I'm saying? And I was like, me, I have underlying conditions, so I know I'm high risk. And I'm going out here, I'm talking to different people, getting into the community, and I'm high risk myself. So I finally decided to get vaccinated. And after I got my first shot, I was just like, I'm gonna see how it is after my first shot. If I like it, I'm gonna get my second one. And symptoms, sore arm, things like that. But I felt fine. And then I got my second shot and I actually got sick with my second shot. Really, really sick. But I was like, I know if I didn't get that shot, I probably would have gotten COVID and gotten really like sick to the point where I would have been hospitalized. So that was like my whole um like origin of why I decided to get it. And I'm thankful that I got it because I had COVID, but the shot helped me beat COVID. And I didn't feel good at all having COVID. Like, I heard stories, but having it myself, I was like, man, people were not lying about the things that they were experiencing. And I can only imagine the people who like were in a hospital and really fighting for their lives. Like I was really, really sick to the point where I couldn't get out of bed. So
Yeah, thank you for sharing. I
of
mean,
course.
thank you guys for really sharing. It's a personal journey that one takes to get vaccinated, and to share it and to be champions of it. I really have to applaud all of you for the incredible advocacy. But around advocacy, I'm just curious, and when so you said that people come to you and ask you for advice. That's going to happen a lot more now through the Voices of Vax. Now that you are out there in the community part 7 campaign, you are now going to be the go-to people when people have questions, or when people want to understand more about the vaccine. So how do you feel about adopting this role, and how do you feel, how prepared do you feel based on the journey that you've all taken? How prepared do you feel, or how excited or nervous are you about stepping into this role after the release of Community Immunity Part 7? Keep it real now. You can keep it real. That's okay. Keep it real.
Nervous.
I'm like, well, when you say it like that, nah, we're definitely prepared. I mean, I can't speak for all of us, but I mean, when you step into those leadership shoes, you have to wear them. So we did our research in order to make the song, and like she said, we're vaccinated, so we can speak on our experience, and we're prepared to give our people real facts, right, Tay Bands?
But bands.
Definitely.
Bands, bands.
I get it stuck in my head again. Y'all need to stop.
But yeah,
I feel like Dr. O, you interviewing us, and it's supposed to be the other way around.
I'm like, I could just throw these questions out the way.
Yes. But I have a question for the both of you. I know we kind of like skipping around, but I want to know, other than New York and now Baltimore, would you guys be willing to remake, a community immunity video for another city or other cities? And what cities do you think that would be? If you had any in mind, just off the top of your head right now.
That's a great question. So, I mean, we like to be driven by where two things. One is where are the highest COVID rates, and two is where are the most vulnerable people within those areas with the highest COVID rates. And for a long time, a lot of those southern cities were getting hit really, really hard after the first wave came through the Northeast. And so we are all about really going to places where the need is greatest. And right now, we know that COVID rates are actually at a reasonable low across the country right now. But with the variant, with the new BA2 variant that's we see now creeping across Europe, the UK and England has really high rates today. We're seeing some cities in China getting shut down because of the new some of the new variants. And so with these new variants, we already see an uptick in the new variants right here in America. Our concern is that people who are vulnerable are still plentiful. People who are unvaccinated are there's still many people who are unvaccinated. And our concern is with these variants is that without the protection of the vaccine, we're going to be stuck in this kind of undulating surge, almost like crescendo, diminuendo, a surge, a lull, a surge, a lull, and we're going to be in this cycle, until we're able to break it. And this the wisdom of the vaccine remains, and that is we're only really going to get to a place of containment with the vaccine. Until that day where we get to a place of containment, we're going to continue to see these little surges or big surges followed by quiet, more lull periods. And so it's really important for us in hip hop public health to make sure we continue to scan the geography of this country, look at where those most vulnerable communities are, where those rates are highest, and where people of color are getting pummeled by this virus. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be people of color. Any community that we believe our messages and our approaches. We have a very robust school-based approach where we take the music and the videos and the content. We create educational lesson plans. We work with school systems. We work with youth organizations to take up these resources, make them their own, customize them, and then roll them out in their community so that we can reach a place where people are comfortable with the decision to get vaccinated. So to answer your question, we go where the problems are greatest.
Mm, definitely.
So
Definitely.
like New Orleans or like Chicago or someplace like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what about you, Mr. Artie, from a production standpoint? Because we have a Baltimore version. And I know, just like Young Elder said, you got New Orleans, you got the New Orleans bounce. I know in your mind if there was like a place where you can just kind of make it for that city, like how would you, like, what city do you think, like, I'm gonna make another community immunity video for a specific city because it just has that hip hop, like, oomph to it, and I know it's going to stick with that city. Like, I just know. What city
Uh,
would that be for you?
California. I want to go to
Mm,
LA. I want to go to
swag.
LA.
Yeah.
It's warm too. Yeah, but no, like Doc said, we wherever we're needed, that's where I would go. It's not too much about, where
Mm,
my personal choice, but it's wherever we're needed. I think we'll do a great job wherever we go. Because
I
when you
definitely
got Doc,
agree.
when you got Doc on your side with that information, you
That's
can't go
facts.
wrong.
I definitely agree.
So when you guys first started, did you like in the beginning stages of making the community immunity songs, did you really see that your messaging would get across to your target audience?
Yes, we definitely did. We've done a lot of research, young elder, on the way we deliver and execute our messages. We've worked with literally hundreds of thousands of kids in developing effective strategies for engaging young people in not just a meaningful way, but in a way that uh, they learn, that it resonates, they retain, and they apply that information. And we've published papers that research papers, the results of our research that shows that our approach is effective at engaging our target audience. You know, Audie does a program here in New York City, and they have like 10 to 12,000 kids across the New York City schools that participate in one of our hip hop programs. It's called Hip Hop Heals, and Audie literally delivers these programs to our public school community here in New York City to help them learn how to make healthier food choices, to learn how to have fun while being healthy, and to try to make healthy lifestyle a cool lifestyle to adopt. And Artie Green and AD, he's one of the Cold Crush brothers. They've been doing this with hip hop for hip hop public health now for over a decade. And if you look back, Artie, I mean, Artie, probably at least 100, 200,000 kids have passed through that specific program that you've been pushing.
I mean, we've seen. It's funny because we have kids that we saw when they were in like the third or fourth grade, and these kids are in college now.
Wow.
And they see us and they still know who we are. Some of the kids even still have a hat that we gave them or a T-shirt that we gave them, and it's cool. It's like we gave them a shirt that we had that was probably an extra large, but now they're grown up and they could wear it now. So it's real cool to see that.
And Artie, I mean, you guys were on Staten Island recently.
Oh, we were in Staten Island the other day, and it was actually the first time since the pandemic hit that we were able to go out into the public and actually be inside of school with the kids. And we did over 700 and I think 30 kids that day. So I mean, it was an amazing day, and we had a great time, and we miss doing it. So we glad everybody's starting to get that vaccination.
Mhm.
We got that community immunity. Look, I'm even rocking my hoodie. Uh, y'all see my hoodie?
Yeah, see, mine was an extra large, so I'm gonna have to grow into mine, like you said.
Mine too, young elder. I need a medium.
But that's so true. And it's I think it's incredible that you guys are getting the youth involved. I feel like the youth are so impressionable, and they really, they have things that they look up to. So for you guys to come to the school and do that work, they're gonna carry that on forever.
That's facts. Stuff like that sticks with, you always remember when you're young, like that person that made a big impact on you. And like you, Mr. Artie saying, they still have the shirts and stuff like that. Like I'm that way too. I'm sentimental. So if I remember, someone who made an impact on my life and I have something to, I don't care if the shirt fit like a glove. I'm gonna keep it. And I'm like, I remember when, because you never know when you run back into that person. You never know how things come back into full circle. If they want to start doing the type of work and just kind of following you guys' footsteps when it comes to those type of things. So it's definitely an amazing thing what you guys are doing and being able to get back and actually talk to people. I know it probably feels a little weird since we've been on lockdown and everything's been like via Zoom and video chat. So how does that feel? Just being able to kind of like get out and move around a little bit and really have those personal conversations.
Well, for me, um, the beauty in getting out, being able to touch the kids and speak to them and be a part of their day. It's like, somebody may not remember what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. And you never know what these kids are going through at home. And sometimes, when we go out there, I mean, I've had some special moments with these kids. Like when I say every year, it's a special something happens, a kid cries, and it's weird because we AD and myself, AD and I, we see these kids and we don't know anything about them, but just something attracts us to this one girl or this one boy, and the teacher will come up or the principal will come up and say, how did you know it was this kid that is having all of these problems? But it's just something special about our program and the way we interact with these kids, man. And like I said, it's just for us being able to get out every week, every day to these schools and touch these kids and say something that's meaningful to them and being able to touch them and make their day it's like it's worth everything. Trust me.
I felt that. I can feel you. I can feel the love that you have for them
Yeah,
as
yeah.
as you're speaking about it, for sure. Yes, I'm just grateful to be here. Y'all. I'm just like,
We're all
So
grateful to
I do
be
have a question. I want to know what was one of the biggest challenges y'all faced while trying to create the concept for these community songs.
making sure. I think making sure we come up with the facts, and that's I think is like you said before. I think that's the most important thing, and that's why I think that the group that we have, the group that Dr. Williams put together, like everybody covers their base. Like I know how to make a track, but I don't know what Dr. Williams know. So in order for me to come up with the song that I come up with, I have to get that information from somewhere. And who better to get it from than the DOC himself?
No, it's really an honor, to work with the team. One of the things that I truly believe is the key to success with these types of initiative is working across sectors, working across silos. Everybody's doing that work in this little area. The public health people are doing that work in this little area. The scientists are doing that work in this little area. The education folks and the teachers are doing that work in this area. So everyone's doing that work in this area. But we come from a philosophy that in order to tackle big problemms, we need to break down these silos, because you'll be shocked about the ideas that flow, the things you learn. I mean, I have learned so much from Audie. You know, I've learned so much from Dougie. I've learned probably more from as much from Audie as I have from some of my scientific colleagues. Do you see what I'm saying? I work with some Nobel laureates at Columbia, but I can tell you, I've learned just as much from people like Audie as I have from some of these incredible scientists. And that's real, because I truly believe that we have to work across all our sectors. We have to break them down, because we are one people, one family, one community. And if we want really to practice community immunity, by the definition of community is coming together, right? That's the definition of community, is coming together to nurture and support one another. And that has to, in my mind, that has to be applied to every public issue. And that means a doctor like me working with an artist like Audie, with the two of us working with an education specialist, with the two of us working with a digital media specialist, with the two of us working with a marketing specialist, with the two of us working with all types of subject matter experts, working with Miss Joni in Baltimore, working with organizations from the CDC, all the way through to, foundations and incredible donors that have come into our hip hop public health family. When you break down these silos and you all come together, I promise you, Magic, that is where magic gets made. That is where magic happens. Not only will it happen in your careers, I promise you it will also happen in your personal lives.
So we only have 5 minutes left, but before we get off, we need y'all to give us a jewel.
It's
Well, I mean,
tradition.
everybody gonna give a jewel, but we need one from y'all. Who wanna go first?
All right, I'll give you one. Always remember the 5 P's. Proper planning prevents poor performance.
I like that.
All
I
right.
like that. I like that. I
Get
definitely
that
would
one.
agree with that. So, wanna go?
Um, I want to hear Dr. Williams' jewel first.
That's deep. That's deep. So this is what I'm just gonna say. I'm gonna say that, when I look at what has really driven me, um, it's two things. And I would say the first is love. And I think that it's important to you see, love is not a passive word. It's an active word. Love is about giving. It's not about receiving. When you really love someone, you are fulfilled when you give. When you really love what you're doing, you are fulfilled when you give. If it's not, if you're getting, if it's if you're not, if you work, if you think it's about receiving, then it's not, you're not in love with that thing. You see, my whole career I've spent in love. I spent in love because I've always been replenished by giving. And so just remember that when you give, you actually receive. What you guys are doing with community immunity, what you guys have done, you've given of your talent, you've given of your time, you've worked hard, you've created, you've gone, you came to New York, you went to the studio, you've given so much. And in that act of giving, you didn't realize, maybe you're starting to feel it now, but you're receiving, you're receiving, you're receiving. And that is an unwritten law of humanity, that when you give is when you receive. And my entire life, people ask me, how do I do X, Y, and Z all at the same time? How do I accomplish this and this and this? And I have one simple answer: give, give, and don't count the cost. Just keep giving. And you'll find that it really is twice blessed to give than to receive.
Yeah, man.
Ooh,
That word love, Doc. I always tell people love is a verb, which is an action word. And it should not only be professed, but it needs to be demonstrated. And I
mm,
stand I stand on those principles, man. You know what I mean?
y'all.
You gotta demonstrate
It's
that.
hard though, Artie. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's hard.
It's hard. Like
Loving
you said,
can be very hard because sometimes you get demoralized, but you have to embrace love. You have to, the way you hold on to your mother, the way you hold on to your sister, your brother, your family, that love that you use to embrace them is the same type of embrace that you need when you're going through hard times. Never let go of that love, because that's the one thing that will guide you, is when you do things from the space of love. And that's it. If there's one thing I can tell you, is that, and trust it. Trust it. You'll be scared, you'll feel lonely, you'll feel demoralized, you'll feel tired. Just keep holding on and you'll get through it.
Wow. Thank you guys so much. We got about a minute left, so you guys' jewels were amazing. Me, Young Elder, and Tay Bands, we're gonna give a quick jewel and then we're gonna wrap it up. My jewel will be to piggyback off of Artie and Dr. O is to always keep going. When you're passionate about something, like Dr. O said, I'm kind of stealing his jewel, y'all. Don't hate me. Hold on to that love and keep going. Use that to push through any negative barriers that you have, because sometimes life will give you a detour. It doesn't mean that, what's for you isn't for you. Sometimes you just got to take another route. So that's my jewel.
Say
All
man,
right,
you
that
want
cool.
to
Yeah, so my rule would just be, keep going and keep believing, because you never know where it take you or what opportunities will come to you. Like, like last year we was at PBS doing the little verse, and now in this year we got the whole song with DMC and Artie Green and Dr. Williams. So we never knew this was gonna happen.
No, seriously. And with that, I would just say don't be afraid to step outside your comfort zone, do different things, and explore your talents because, like she said, you never know where it could take you.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, we
Thank you
gotta do the
guys.
hug. You gotta
Yeah.
do the hug. Make sure y'all screenshot this though.
Dr.
Dr.
Williams.
Oh,
Yeah. So y'all weren't gonna show the video for some of the people that's been asking about the video.
the host, do the host have a way to show the video?
Who is the host? That's
The hostess with the mostest.
Hip Hop Public Health dot. I believe you can find it, on our website. Can we show the video? Can we show the video?
If we can't show the video, then you can check it out on YouTube at Hip Hop Public Health.
Cam is about to pull the video up.
Okay. Great, great, great.
And I just want to thank you guys before we leave. I want to thank you guys again. You guys are really incredible. You guys are role models in your communities. And look, we are here for you every step of this journey. Hip Hop Public Health and our entire team are going to work with you throughout this journey. And so just keep the faith and keep holding on. Thank you. This was a real honor for us. And thank you to all our partners. Thank you to the Scarlet Feather Fund. Thank you to the CDC. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, thank you. Now it's time for the video.
Video time. Uh-oh. Can you guys hear it?
Now they have to take it off mute. I think it was on mute.
Yeah, we can't hear it, Cam.